The safe door hung open like a traitor's mouth, spilling its secrets onto the bedroom floor in a cascade of dog-eared pages and rainbow-spined confessions. Noah's heart slammed against his ribs as he stared at the note tucked inside the top book. His mom's handwriting, neat and deliberate. "I see you, baby. I've always seen you. We'll talk when you're ready. Love, Mom." But the words blurred through hot tears because this wasn't mercy. It was a crack in the fortress he'd built around his soul, and beyond it loomed the storm he dreaded since the first boy's smile had stirred something forbidden in his chest. In the split second before the world shattered, Noah had been dreaming of Mason's laugh echoing through the empty football field after practice. The way his green eyes caught the stadium lights like emeralds in the dusk. Now, with the safe violated and his hidden world exposed, Noah wondered if that laugh would ever come again, or if it had all been a beautiful, fleeting lie. Noah Thompson had always been the good son, the one who mowed the lawn without being asked, aced his AP classes at Lincoln High, and volunteered at the local food bank every Saturday like clockwork. In the sprawling suburb of Elmwood, Ohio, where pickup trucks rumbled down maple-lined streets and church steeples pierced the sky like accusatory fingers, being good was survival. At 17, Noah knew the script. Smile for the family photos, pray at Sunday dinner, and bury the parts of himself that didn't fit under the floorboards of his soul. But souls don't stay buried forever, especially not when they're starving for light. It started with a library card, not the one his mom had signed for him at age 6, with its laminated sleeve smelling of fresh ink and possibility. No, this was the secret one, swiped from the public library downtown under a fake name. Noah had picked Alex Rivers, after the indie author whose queer coming-of-age novels had first cracked his heart open. He'd ride his beat-up Schwinn bike 10 miles each way, chaining it to the rack behind the building so no one from Elmwood would spot the handlebar basket stuffed with contraband. The books were his lifeline. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe with its tender explorations of boyish longing. They both die at the end with its gut-wrenching reminder that love could be snatched away in a heartbeat. He'd devour them under the covers with a flashlight, the beam trembling in sync with his pulse, whispering the words like incantations against the darkness. The safe was his fortress. Dad had installed it in the closet wall years ago, back when Noah was little and the world felt safe enough for secrets like hidden Christmas presents. Now, it held more than toys. A stack of paperbacks, dog-eared and annotated in frantic pencil scrawls. A Polaroid of 2 boys holding hands at a pride parade he'd printed from the library computer. A crumpled receipt from the one time he'd mustered the courage to buy a rainbow keychain at a gas station in Columbus, pretending it was for a friend. He'd spin the dial with sweaty palms. Left 3 times, right twice, stop at 42. His birthday a talisman against discovery. If they find this, he'd think, they'll know I'm broken. But deep down, in the ache that bloomed whenever a cute guy walked the halls, he knew it wasn't breakage. It was becoming. Elmwood High was a pressure cooker of conformity, where Letterman jackets ruled the social hierarchy and the only colors that mattered were crimson and gold. Noah blended in seamlessly. Khakis and polos from Target, a backpack slung over one shoulder, quick with a joke to deflect any deeper probes. His best friend, Tyler, was the quarterback, all broad shoulders and easy charm, the kind of guy who high-fived everyone and dated cheerleaders without a second thought. Tyler didn't know about the safe, or the way Noah's gaze lingered a beat too long on the curve of a jawline in the locker room. Straight best friend, gay secret keeper. Classic, Noah would mock himself in the mirror, practicing a grin that said nothing to see here. Then came Mason Hale. Transferred in sophomore year from some artsy magnet school in Cincinnati, Mason was a walking disruption. Tall and lean like a willow tree, with tousled auburn hair that fell into eyes the color of sea glass, and a sketchbook perpetually tucked under his arm. He wasn't on the team or in the clubs. He haunted the art room, charcoal smudges on his fingers, turning blank canvases into storms of color that made Noah's chest tighten. Their first real collision happened in the hallway during lunch rush. Noah dodging a group of jocks, Mason backing out of a classroom with his head down, and bam! Sketchbook flying, pages fluttering like startled birds. Shit, sorry. Noah lunged, scooping up the drawings before they could scatter too far. One caught his eye. A portrait of a boy with downcast eyes, vulnerability etched in every line. Felt too real, too raw. Mason snatched it back, cheeks flushing. It's fine. I wasn't looking. Their fingers brushed as he handed over the book, and Noah felt it like static electricity, a spark that raced up his arm and lodged in his throat. Cool sketches. You do commissions or something? A half smile, tentative. Nah, just processing. Mason's voice was soft, laced with that Midwestern drawl that made vowels stretch like taffy. He adjusted his backpack, the strap pulling his faded band tee. Something indie Noah didn't recognize, taut across his chest. You're Noah, right? From bio. Yeah. And you're the new guy who makes the teachers nervous because you actually think. Mason laughed, a sound like wind chimes in a breeze, and just like that, Noah was hooked. They fell into step toward the cafeteria, talking about everything and nothing. The hypocrisy of the school's inclusivity posters that ignored the slurs whispered in the bathrooms. The way Van Gogh swirls mirrored the chaos in Noah's head. By the end of the week, they were eating lunch on the bleachers, Mason doodling caricatures of the lunch ladies, while Noah cracked open smuggled library reads under the guise of homework. It was innocent at first, shared secrets over PB and JS. Mason confessing he'd come out to his theater mom back in Cincy but clammed up after the divorce yanked him to Elmwood with his conservative dad. Dads all pray the gay away vibes, Mason said one afternoon, kicking at a pebble. Says it's a phase. Like, dude, I've been sketching shirtless dudes since I was 12. Noah's mouth went dry. Yeah? Well, phases suck. He wanted to say more, to spill about the safe, the books, the way his own coming out felt like defusing a bomb with no manual. But fear glued his lips shut. Instead, he nudged Mason's shoulder. Show me one of those sketches sometime. Mason's eyes lit up. Only if you model. The flirtation simmered, unspoken but electric. Stolen glances during class, knees brushing under the desk in study hall. Noah's dreams turned feverish. Mason's hands on his waist, lips tasting of cherry chapstick and rebellion. He'd wake sweating, heart pounding, and bolt to the safe to reaffirm its lock. Safe, safe, safe. Because if this bloomed into something real, it could uproot everything. Fall turned to winter, leaves crunching underfoot as they walked home together. Mason's house a block from Noah's in the same cookie-cutter neighborhood. One December evening, snow dusting their jackets like powdered sugar, they cut through the empty park. Street lamps glowed hazy orbs, casting their shadows long and intertwined. Cold as balls out here, Mason shivered, breath fogging the air. Noah shrugged off his scarf, knitted by Grandma last Christmas, scratchy wool that smelled of home, and looped it around Mason's neck. Their faces were inches apart, noses pink from the chill. Mason's gaze dropped to Noah's mouth, and time stuttered. Is this okay? Mason whispered, thumb tracing Noah's jaw. Noah nodded, throat too tight for words. Their kiss was clumsy at first, teeth clacking, noses bumping. But then it deepened, Mason's hands fisting in Noah's parka, pulling him closer. Snowflakes melted on their cheeks as Noah tasted salt and sweetness, the world narrowing to the press of bodies and the frantic beat of his heart. This is real, he thought, dizzy with it. This is mine. They broke apart, gasping, foreheads touching. I've wanted that since the hallway crash, Mason admitted, voice husky. Me too. Noah grinned, the safe forgotten in the glow of possibility. But Elmwood had eyes everywhere. Whispers started. Hale's got a new buddy. Too close, if you ask me. Tyler clapped Noah on the back in the locker room one day. Too hard. Heard you and the artist are tight. Don't let him turn you into a fairy, bro. Noah laughed it off, but the word lodged like a splinter. That night, alone in his room, he added a new relic to the safe. A pressed leaf from their park walk, veined with gold in the lamplight. For luck, he told himself, spinning the dial shut. Little did he know, luck had a way of running out. As the holidays loomed, their stolen moments multiplied. Mason's dad worked late shifts at the auto plant, so they'd hole up in his basement. Tangled on the couch watching Brokeback Mountain for the angst, Mason's fingers tracing patterns on Noah's thigh that made his breath hitch. You're beautiful, you know that? Mason murmured one night, lips brushing Noah's collarbone. Like, the way you light up when you talk about those books you hide. Noah froze. What books? Mason propped on an elbow, sheepish. You mentioned them once. Sounded intense. You ever gonna let me read one? Someday. Noah deflected with a kiss. But doubt crept in. How much can I share before it all unravels? Christmas Eve brought the first fracture. Family dinner at the Thompsons. Turkey and cranberry sauce. Dad's annual toast to traditional values. Mom's eyes misty as she passed the rolls. Noah sat rigid, Mason's scarf burning a hole in his pocket. He'd snuck it back, a talisman against the hypocrisy. Under the table, his phone buzzed. Miss you already. Come over after? He typed back soon, but the guilt twisted like barbed wire. They love me, but do they? Later, slipping out the back door into the frosted night, Noah pedaled to Mason's, the scarf whipping behind him like a flag of surrender. They made love for the first time on a pile of blankets in the basement, tentative and reverent, bodies learning the language of trust. Afterward, curled together, Mason whispered, I love you, Noah. For real. I love you too. Noah breathed, meaning it with every fiber. In that moment, the safe felt miles away, a relic of a boy who didn't know joy. But joy is fragile in Elmwood. New Year's Eve, Tyler threw a rager at his parents' lake house. Keg stands and bass-thumping playlists, the air thick with Axe body spray and bad decisions. Noah went to blend in, Mason tagging along as the artist friend. They stuck to the edges, nursing solo cups of flat soda, but eyes followed. A drunk jock cornered Mason by the pong table. You that fag Hale? Bet you draw dicks in that book. Huh. Mason's jaw tightened, but Noah stepped in, voice steady. Back off, Kyle. Not cool. The room hushed, then erupted in hoots. Tyler pulled Noah aside later, breath sour with beer. What the hell, man? Defending him? You trying to ruin your rep? It's not. Noah started, but Tyler's laugh cut like glass. Wake up, Noah. This town eats guys like you alive. He clapped Noah's shoulder again, harder. Choose your side. The drive home was silent. Mason's hands white-knuckled on the wheel of his dad's old Chevy. You okay? Noah asked. Mason nodded, but his eyes were distant. Just tired of hiding. Me too, Noah thought. But as they kissed goodbye in the driveway, headlights sweeping past like judgmental spotlights, he wondered if hiding was the only armor they had. January thawed into mud season, school a grind of midterms and longing glances. Noah buried himself in the safe's contents, underlining passages about love's quiet rebellions. One lunch, Mason slid a sketch across the bleacher. Noah, captured mid-laugh, eyes alight with secrets. For your collection, he said, winking. Noah's chest swelled. This is us. Against the world. But the world fought back. Dad caught wind of the close friendship from a church gossip, pulling Noah into the garage for the talk. Son, I know boys your age experiment, but God's got a plan. Stick to the path. Noah nodded, numb, the safe style echoing in his mind. That night, he dreamed of fire. Books burning, Mason's face melting into ash. Spring bloomed with prom whispers and senior skip days, but for juniors like them, it was a tease of futures uncertain. Mason applied to art schools in New York, dreams spilling over diner fries. We could go together, he said one rainy afternoon, bodies pressed in Noah's twin bed while Mom baked downstairs. Start fresh. No hiding. Noah traced Mason's freckles, imagining it. Lofts and galleries, hands intertwined in daylight. Yeah, someday. Their rhythm deepened. Kisses in the janitor's closet. Notes folded into lockers like love letters from a bygone era. But cracks spiderwebbed. Tyler ghosted Noah's texts. The football crowd's stares turning icy. And at home, Mom's questions sharpened. Who's this Mason boy? You seem distracted. Just a friend, Mom. The lie tasted like rust. May arrived with lilacs and lightning storms. The air electric with unspoken storms. Noah planned a surprise. A picnic in the park, the same spot of their first kiss, with a dog-eared copy of Heartstopper as his offering. Time to let him in, he decided, heart hammering as he spun the safe open. He didn't hear the footsteps until it was too late. The basement door creaked open, and there she was, Mom, arms crossed, face a mask of confusion and something sharper, like betrayal etched in fine lines around her eyes. Noah had snuck Mason in through the side entrance, the house empty for once with Dad at a late Lions Club meeting. They'd tumbled down the stairs giggling, shedding jackets and inhibitions, the air thick with the scent of rain-soaked earth from the open window. Mason's shirt hit the floor first, then Noah's, their laughter dissolving into gasps as hands explored familiar territories with renewed hunger. Noah? What on earth? Mom's voice sliced through the haze like a cold front. They sprang apart, scrambling for clothes, faces burning. Mason yanked his tee over his head backward, collar stretched comically across his shoulder. Noah's jeans were half-zipped, heart jackhammering as he blocked the view of the rumpled couch. Mom, we were just studying. Her gaze flicked from Noah's flushed skin to Mason's averted eyes, the pieces clicking with agonizing slowness. The room, once a sanctuary of stolen breaths, shrank to a confessional booth. Studying, she echoed, tone flat as Midwest plains. With the door locked and clothes everywhere, Mason mumbled something about needing to go, grabbing his backpack like a shield. I'll call you later, man. His kiss on Noah's cheek was featherlight, a promise laced with panic, before he bolted up the stairs, the front door slamming like a verdict. Mom didn't move, her silence heavier than any shout. Finally, she sighed, rubbing her temple. We need to talk. Kitchen. Now. Noah followed, stomach churning, the stairs mounting each like gallows steps. The kitchen was lemon-scented from her cleaning spree, the heart of their home where pies baked for bake sales and prayers were whispered over meatloaf. He slid into a chair, hands clasped to hide the tremble, while she poured coffee. Black for her, milky for him, a ritual unchanged since he was 10. Tell me the truth, Noah. Her voice softened, but her eyes searched like spotlights. Is this a phase? Like with that girl in 8th grade? The question hung, a noose disguised as concern. Noah's throat closed. Phase. The word Tyler had flung like a grenade. He thought of Mason's sketches, the way their bodies fit like puzzle pieces forged in fire. It's not a phase, Mom. Me. She set her mug down, ceramic clinking against formica. Tears welled, but she blinked them back, ever the stoic. Your father. The church. Noah, this isn't Elmwood. This isn't us. The word stung, reducing him to a cog in the family machine. Mason's a good guy. He makes me happy. A beat. Then, happiness isn't everything. There's eternity to consider. She reached for his hand, her grip warm but unyielding. We'll get through this. Counseling, maybe. Pastor Ray knows people. The offer landed like a slap, help wrapped in erasure. Noah pulled away, chair scraping. I don't need fixing. Upstairs, he locked his door, the safe's dial a frantic whisper under his fingers. He pulled out the house in the Cerulean Sea, its pages a balm of found family, and read until dawn, Mason's texts lighting up his phone like fireflies. Your mom cool? I'm freaking. Love you. We got this. They did for a while. School became a minefield of avoidance. Tyler's crew jeering from afar, whispers slithering like smoke. Mason withdrew into his art, sketches turning darker, thorns entwining lovers' hearts. But their nights burned brighter, drives to the quarry's edge, where they'd park and steam up the windows, talking futures over stolen sips of Dad's bourbon. New York, Mason would say, head on Noah's lap. You, me, the skyline. No more basements. Noah would trace his scars, faint ones from a childhood fall, badges of survival. Promise. Promise. Kisses sealed it, fierce and fleeting. But promises fray. Dad confronted Noah over breakfast one Saturday. Newspaper folded like armor. Heard about your little friend. This stops now, son. We're Thompsons, decent folk. Decent. Noah's fork clattered. You mean straight? Dad's face purpled. Watch your tone. I won't have sin in my house. Mom hovered in the doorway, silent witness. Later, alone, she slipped a pamphlet under his door. Overcoming unwanted same-sex attraction. Noah burned it in the backyard fire pit, ashes scattering like his resolve. Mason became his anchor. They plotted escapes. Summer jobs in Columbus, fake IDs for city bars. One humid June night, under a meteor shower, they lay on a blanket at the quarry, fingers laced. Marry me someday, Mason joked, but his eyes were serious. Noah's heart soared. In a heartbeat. Summer break was a fever dream of freedom. Day shifts at the ice cream stand. Shared scoops of mint chip, stolen licks off thumbs. Evenings at the lake, skinny dipping in moonlit waters, bodies slick and laughing. Mason taught Noah to sketch, charcoal crumbling under inexperienced fingers, while Noah read aloud from Call Me by Your Name, voices mingling in the dusk. But Elmwood's grip tightened. Pastor Ray's sermon that July scorched, the rainbow flag waves in defiance of God's covenant. Repent, brothers, before the flood comes. The congregation nodded, Dad's jaw set. Noah skipped the next service, feigning illness, but guilt gnawed. Worse was Tyler's betrayal. They'd been friends since Pee Wee football, secrets swapped over sleepovers. But one August afternoon, Tyler cornered Noah behind the bleachers. Dude, everyone knows. You inhale gross. My dad says it's a choice, and you're choosing wrong. It's not. Noah started, but Tyler shoved him hard. Stay away from the team, or I tell everyone what a perv you are. He stalked off, leaving Noah bruised in body and spirit. He didn't tell Mason. Instead, he poured it into a letter, sealed and added to the safe. To the boy who saved me. In case we crash. Labor Day loomed, school a specter. Mason's dad found a sketch, 2 boys embracing, and the blow-up echoed through the neighborhood. Grounded, Mason snuck out, climbing Noah's trellis like Romeo. They clung in the dark, whispers frantic. He'll come around, Noah lied. Mason's laugh was bitter. Or he won't. But us? We're solid. Senior year dawned crisp, leaves turning trader gold. Noah and Mason navigated the hall's hand-in-bracelet, a subtle rebellion. Matching leather cords from a flea market, engraved with N&M forever. Classes blurred. AP Lit dissecting the Great Gatsby's doomed loves, mirroring their own. Lunch on the bleachers resumed, but now with purpose. College apps, dreams sketched in margins. Home was war zone. Dad's silences thundered. Mom's prayers audible through thin walls. One night she knocked softly. Noah, honey, can we try? He cracked the door. Try what? Understanding. She held a book. 2 boys kissing, pilfered from his stack? No, her own purchase, tentative. I read this. Hurt, but I want to know you. Tears pricked. Really? A nod. But your father. Give us time. It was a thread of hope, fragile as spider silk. Noah clung to it, even as Dad's ultimatum landed. Shape up, or you're out after graduation. Mason, oblivious to the full storm, planned their proposal. A canvas of the park, painted in twilight hues, hidden in his trunk. Say yes, he texted, heart emoji winking. Always, Noah replied, pulse racing. But October brought the squall. A school assembly on healthy relationships devolved into veiled warnings. Peer pressure can lead you astray. Choose wisely. Mason stormed out, Noah trailing. In the parking lot, they raged, fists clenched, voices raw. They hate us, Mason spat. Not all. Noah pulled him close, defiant. We fight. Their kiss was armor, tongues clashing like swords. But as they broke apart, Mason's phone buzzed. Dad, we're talking. Now. The goodbye was hurried. Mason's eyes shadowed. Love you. Love you more. Noah biked home, wind whipping tears, the safe calling like a siren. He added the bracelet's twin, snapped in frustration, spinning the dial with vengeance. November fog rolled in, Thanksgiving a farce of forced smiles. Dad carved the turkey with surgical precision, Mom's eyes pleading across the table. Noah excused himself early, retreating to his room, where Mason's latest sketch waited. Them as superheroes, capes billowing against a stormy sky. Our story, the note read, unbreakable. But unbreakable things bend. Mid-month, Tyler's crew jumped Mason after art club, fists and slurs, leaving him bloody-nosed and shaken. Noah found him on the curb, cradling him as sirens wailed distant. They said, "You're next," Mason whispered. Noah's blood boiled. "Let them try." At the ER, Mom arrived, called by the school, face ashen. She hugged Mason awkwardly. Then Noah. "Oh, baby." Dad stayed home, his absence a chasm. That night, as stitches pulled, Mason confessed, "I'm scared, Noah, of losing you to this shit." "You won't." But doubt seeded, a weed in the garden of their love. Winter solstice approached, shortest day mirroring their light. They attended the holiday fair incognito, scarves high, hands brushing in crowds. Cotton candy stuck to fingers, carousel lights blurring into halos. On the Ferris wheel, cresting the top, Mason proposed again. "Run away with me, after prom." Noah's yes was a vow, sealed with a kiss as the world spun below. But vows test in fire. Christmas Eve redux. Dad's gift to Noah, a Bible inscribed for guidance. Mom's, a tentative it gets better mug. Mason's, slipped through the window. A locket with their photo, tiny and fierce. New Year's, they toasted with sparkling cider in the quarry. Resolutions whispered, "Be brave. Be us." January thawed the ice but not the chill. Mason's dad enrolled him in youth group, code for conversion therapy light. He resisted, but absences grew. Texts lagged. "Sorry. Grounded. Miss you." Noah's paranoia bloomed. He scoured the safe, rereading passages on resilience, but the words mocked. What if it doesn't get better? Valentine's. A clandestine dinner at a diner outside town. Heart-shaped fries and milkshakes. Mason's eyes shone. "You're my everything." Ditto. But as they drove back, cop lights flashed, routine stop, but Noah's heart seized. They know. Paranoia peaked. March Madness. Basketball playoffs, Tyler's glory. Noah skipped games, holing with Mason in the art room, painting murals of escape. Cityscapes with open arms. Prom tickets burned in Noah's wallet. A beacon. But April showers brought floods. Dad found the mug, shattered it in rage. "No son of mine." Mom intervened, tears streaming. "Enough. He's our boy." The house divided, Noah caught in crossfire. He fled to Mason's basement, where they held each other through the night, bodies a bulwark. "I can't breathe here," Noah sobbed. "Then we leave. Soon." May bloomed defiant, lilacs mocking the decay. Graduation loomed, futures fracturing. Mason's acceptance to Pratt. "We did it." Noah's deferral to OSU local safe. "I'll transfer," he lied. The night before the picnic surprise, Noah polished the Heartstopper volume. Heart full. Dawn broke golden, birdsong a fanfare. He didn't see the shadow in the hall. The bedroom door swung wide, hinges protesting like a gasp held too long. Noah whirled from the closet, Heartstopper clutched to his chest like a shield. The safe door ajar behind him. A yawning mouth of vulnerability. Mom stood there, key in hand, the master key Dad kept for emergencies, now weaponized in her trembling grip. Her robe hung loose, hair unbrushed from a sleepless night, eyes red-rimmed but resolute. The air thickened, charged with the scent of his cologne and the faint mildew of old pages. "Noah," she said, voice cracking on the edges. Not a question, but an invocation. He slammed the safe shut, or tried to, but her foot wedged in the door, gentle yet unyielding. Books tumbled. Simon versus, spine creased from 100 reads. Red, white, and royal blue, cover emblazoned with a stolen kiss. They hit the carpet with soft thuds, accusations in paperback form. Noah's knees buckled, sliding down the wall, the graphic novel forgotten in his lap. "Mom, please, don't." She knelt amid the spill, fingers hovering over a title. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, its corseted duo a flamboyant flag of defiance. Her touch was reverent, almost, as if handling holy relics or shards of a broken child. They're yours. The question was a scalpel, peeling back layers he'd armored for years. Noah nodded, throat raw. Yeah, they're me. Silence stretched, broken only by the tick of his alarm clock. 6:47 a.m. The world still asleep while theirs crumbled. Mom gathered the books, not in condemnation but care, stacking them on his bed like offerings. Then, from her robe pocket, she produced a notebook, her own, lined pages filled with her looping script. She tore a sheet free, pen scratching brief and deliberate, before tucking it between Simon's pages. I'm not ready to throw this away, she said, gesturing to the safe's innards. But I can't pretend anymore either. Read it when you can. She rose, smoothing her robe, and paused at the door. I love you, Noah. More than pews or prayers. We'll figure this out. Together. The latch clicked soft, her footsteps fading down the hall. Noah waited until her door shut before lunging for the note. I see you, baby. I've always seen you. We'll talk when you're ready. Love, Mom. The words blurred, ink swimming in saline. Not rejection, but reckoning. A bridge extended over the chasm he'd feared fatal. He curled around the books, sobs racking. The safe's echo a hollow dirge. She knows. God, she knows. The picnic was salvaged. Barely. Mason arrived at the park an hour late. Eyes shadowed from his own dawn skirmish. Dad's talk about manly distractions. But the canvas unrolled like a banner. Their spot, rendered in oils, vibrant and alive. For you, Mason said, voice thick. Say you'll go to New York with me. Noah's yes cracked on the edges, the note burning in his pocket. They ate sandwiches under the oaks. Heartstopper passed between them. Laughter tentative but real. Nick and Charlie's banter mirrored their own. Awkward, aching, triumphant. Mason's head on Noah's shoulder, fingers tracing knuckles. Your mom find out about us? Sort of. Noah spilled it then, the break-in, the message. Mason's grip tightened. That's huge. She didn't freak. Not like Dad would. The sun dappled through leaves, a fragile piece. But as they packed up, Mason's phone rang. College orientation. A callback. Gotta take this. Love you. Love you. The kiss lingered, tasting of mustard and maybes. School's end unspooled in a blur of finals and farewells. Tyler's apology came via text. Sorry, man. Heat of the moment. Ignored. Dad's silences calcified into civil nods. Mom's overtures blooming. Shared coffees, questions about the books. Simon made me cry, she admitted one evening, mug steaming. That fear. I get it now. Noah's walls cracked. It's always been there, Mom. Hiding it hurt more. She nodded, tears unshed. I should have seen sooner. Forgive me? The hug was fierce, bones to bones. Always. Mason's departure loomed like a guillotine. July 1st, Pratt's dorms calling. They spent June in a haze of lasts. Last lake swim, bodies buoyant in twilight. Last basement tangle, sheets twisted like fates. Wait for me, Noah begged. Applications to NYU half-filled. Always. Mason's locket gleamed on Noah's chest, a heartbeat talisman. The goodbye at the bus station was cinematic cruelty. Greyhound idling, exhaust fumes mingling with exhaust tears. Mason's duffel sagged with canvases, his arms a vice around Noah. 6 months. Then forever. 6 months. The kiss was desperate, salt-laced, the driver honking impatience. As the bus pulled away, Noah's handprint lingered on the window, a ghost wave. He biked home numb, the safe now a time capsule. Books joined by Mason's sketch, the note laminated in resolve. Fall semester solo was a gauntlet. Noah roomed with a lacrosse bro at OSU. Columbus a bigger cage than Elmwood. Texts with Mason fired like flares. Art class kicked my ass. Miss your laugh. Drew us today. Attached. But distance warped. Mason's parties with creative types. Noah's study groups laced with crushes unspoken. Mom visited weekends, bringing pies and progress. 2 boys kissing dog-eared in her purse. Dad thawed incrementally. A grunted proud of you at homecoming. But the locket's weight grew leaden, doubts whispering. Is he slipping? November chill mirrored the drift. Mason's calls shortened, excuses piling. Critiques, hangouts. It's intense here, he'd say, voice distant. Noah buried in classes, lit seminars dissecting queer narratives, irony bitter. Thanksgiving homecoming. Mason couldn't make it. Family stuff. Noah dined with ghosts. Mom's hand on his under the table. He'll come around. But December brought the fracture. A late-night call. Mason. Slurred. Met this guy. Painter. He gets it, you know? No hiding. Noah's gut twisted. What's that mean? Nothing. Just miss you. But it's hard. The line died. Silence roaring. Noah raided the safe, rereading the note like scripture. I see you. But did Mason? Christmas. Solo in Elmwood. Mason's gift a hasty postcard. NYC skyline. Scribbled thinking of you. Noah's reply. A care package of books and the bracelet. Went unread for days. New Year's Quarry Vigil. Alone. Bottle of Dad's bourbon warming his veins. Fireworks cracked overhead. But his heart echoed the boom. Betrayal? Or just growing? Spring thaw was tentative. Mason's apology call. I'm an idiot. That guy? Flirt. Nothing. I love you. Relief flooded, but sediment lingered. Prove it. Visit. Summer. Promise. OSU bloomed, Noah's circle widening, queer alliance meetings. First pride flag in his dorm. Empowerment surged, but Mason's shadows loomed. Summer reunion. Mason arrived tanned and tattooed. A tiny heart on his wrist, N inked inside. Marked, he grinned, pulling Noah into the basement. Reunion was fire. Bodies rediscovering, whispers of sorry and missed you. But cracks showed. Mason's stories laced with names. Alex the sculptor, Jamie the poet. They're just friends, he'd insist. Noah nodded, but the safe gained a new entry. A bar napkin from a NYC dive. Mason's doodle of a stranger's profile. Fall again, sophomore year. Mason's texts sporadic. Instagram a gallery of gallery openings. Arms around bros. Captions winking. Noah's heart calloused. Class is a distraction. Psych on attachment. Lit on fractured loves. Mom noticed. You seem quiet. Mason. He's busy. Lie tasted stale. Thanksgiving. Mason bailed again. Show crunch. Noah cooked with Mom. Dad's jokes landing softer. You're stronger than you know, son. December 16th, the date etched now. Package arrived. The locket returned. Note inside, need space. This town, us, it's too much. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. The world grayed. Noah shattered. A vase in the kitchen. Shards like his resolve. Mom found him curled on the floor, sobbing. Oh, baby. She held him through the night. The safe's contents a fort around them. He doesn't deserve you. But love doesn't logic. Noah drove to the quarry, locket heavy in palm. He hurled it into the depths, splash echoing loss. Betrayed. The word burned, hotter than any slur. Winter break blurred. Therapy sessions Mom insisted on. Dad's awkward fishing trips. Healing stitched slow, but the alliance became kin. Friends who saw him, no qualifiers. Spring. Mason's email, can we talk? I fucked up. Ignored. Graduation neared, cap and gown a milestone. Mom's gift. A new safe, smaller, for his apartment. For the parts you choose to share. Noah hugged her fierce. Thanks, Mom. Summer job at the food bank. Irony sweet. Feeding others while nourishing self. Pride month dawned. Rainbow flags waving unapologetic. Noah marched in Columbus, first time out, chest swelling. Mason's final plea. A call, voice broken. I was scared. Forgive. No click. Catharsis. Fall senior year. Internships, apps to grad schools. The safe traveled, now holding manifestos, not hides. Mom and Dad at orientation. pride swelling their eyes. One night, phone buzzed. Unknown. Saw your post. You look happy. Deserve it. Noah typed. Deleted. Typed. I am. Take care. Send. The end, humanistic, forgiveness without forgetting. But the real climax brewed. June. Postgrad. A letter from Mason. Forwarded. I'm coming back. One last chance? Noah stared at the safe. Mom's note faded but framed on his desk. I see you. The park waited, picnic blanket unfurled. Full circle. The coffee shop on High Street buzzed with postgrad energy. Laptops glowing, baristas calling orders like incantations. But Noah sat in a corner booth. The letter creased in his fist, pulse a war drum. Mason's words looped. I've been lost without you. Therapy, realizations, I was running from Dad. From us. Give me coffee? June 15th, 3 p.m. The Beanery. It had arrived like a grenade, postmarked Brooklyn. His handwriting a ghost of sketches shared. Noah had stared at it for days. The safe's contents mocking. Books of second chances, but his heart? Scarred tissue tender under the callus. He almost didn't go. Mom urged neutrality. Hear him out, but guard your heart. While Dad grunted. Punch him if he's a dick. But the park's pull, the canvas gathering dust in his closet. One coffee. Closure. 3:02 p.m. The bell tinkled, and there he was. Mason, leaner, hair cropped short, a Brooklyn edge in his button-down and scuffed boots. Eyes scanned, landed, widened. He approached slow, hands jammed in pockets, that half-smile tentative. Hey! Hey! Noah's voice steady, surprise. Mason looked, older, etched with city nights and regrets. Can I? A nod to the seat. Noah shrugged, and Mason slid in, ordering a black drip. Same as always. Awkward beats. Weather, OSU tales. Then dive. I fucked up, Noah. Monumental. Mason's fingers drummed the table. Scars faded but visible. After Pratt, I dove into that scene, parties, guys who didn't ask questions. Thought it was freedom, but it was escape. From Dad's bullshit, from fearing I'd drag you down. Noah's jaw tightened. You did drag me, then left me in the mud. Guilt flashed. I know. Saw your pride pics online. Gorgeous, by the way. You thrived without me. That's what killed me. He pulled a tube from his bag. Rolled canvas, unfurling to reveal them. The park, but evolved. Figures intertwined under a dawn sky, cracks in the earth mending with vines. For you, or to burn. Your call. The detail gutted. Noah's locket glinting fictional light. Mason's wrist tattoo blooming roses. It's beautiful. Truth is my medium now. Mason leaned in, voice low. I love you. Still. Always did. But if you say no, I walk. No ghosts. The air hummed. Barista steamer hissing like distant thunder. Noah traced the canvas veins. Memories flooding. Quarry splashes. Basement whispers. Betrayals sting. Humanities in the mess. Mom's therapy echo. One date. Neutral ground. See if the embers catch. Mason's grin broke. Sun through clouds. Deal. The date was the observatory. Stars a canopy for second acts. They shared a blanket. Telescopes fogging with breath. Mason's hand hovering before lacing fingers. Stories spilled. His group sessions dismantling Dad's dogma. Noah's non-profit gig feeding queer youth. Laughter bubbled, tentative, then free old rhythms rediscovered. Kiss came natural under Orion's belt. Soft, exploratory, no rush. Missed this, Mason murmured. Me too. But doubt lingered, a shadow puppeteer. Weeks blurred into summer heat. Dates multiplied. Farmers markets, indie flicks, hands brushing in crowds. Mason sublet a Columbus crash pad. Indefinite. His art turning tender. Portraits of resilience. Noah muse uncredited. Sex reignited slow. Tentative touches building to inferno. Bodies relearning trust's terrain. But Elmwood's ghosts prowled. Dad's welcome thawed to wary. He treats you right? Mom befriended Mason over brunches. Her book club now queer-lit inclusive. Tyler? A grocery-run collision. Awkward nod. Congrats, man. Betrayals echo faded, but not silent. August storm hit literal and figurative. Mason's dad called heart attack, ICU in Cincy. He wants to see you, Mason said, voice hollow. Thinks you're the reason. Noah went. Hospital sterile, beeps a dirge. Mr. Hale, tubes snaking, eyes sunken but sharp. You poisoned him. Words clanged, but Noah held ground. Love doesn't poison. Hiding does. Mason squeezed his hand. Silent ally. Recovery bridged. Dad Hale's gruff thanks over coffee. You're good for him. Fractures mended. Not seamless, but scarred strong. Fall beckoned. Mason's adjunct gig at UC. Noah's grad app to Columbia. Together, Mason asked. Knee in grass at the park. Together. Vow renewed. Canvas framed in Noah's room. But climax crested October. Elmwood's Harvest Fest. Booths and bonfires. Community facade. Tyler's crew lurked. Beers in hand. Slurs slurred louder post-rehab stint. Fags back in town. One sneered. Kyle from high school. Breath boozy. Mason stiffened. But Noah stepped forward. Problem. Crowd gathered. Tyler hovering uneasy. Kyle lunged. Fist wild, but Mason dodged, countering with a shove. Chaos erupted. Scuffle in dirt. Noah pulling Mason back as sirens wailed. Bystanders filmed, whispers viral. Cops arrived, statements taken. Bruises bloomed, but victory too. Tyler testified. They didn't start it. Charges dropped, but fallout fermented. Local papers teen brawl at fest. Hate or heat. Mason's face pixelated. Noah's name in byline. Dad's rage. This town'll crucify you. Mom's resolve. Or canonize. We fight. Mason spiraled. I brought this. Again. No, Noah cupped his face. Storm-lit kitchen. We did. Together. Night of reckoning. Safe opened. Contents spilled for Mason's eyes. This is me. All scars. Mason traced the note. Tears falling. Beautiful. Love-making cathartic. Slow. Sacred. Bodies mapping forgiveness. Dawn found them tangled, future a blank canvas. November elections loomed. America's pulse fevered. Rights debated like commodities. Noah volunteered for campaigns, Mason's posters plastered. Love wins, vote yes. Tension crackled. Protests simmering. Climax detonated Thanksgiving Eve. Church rally turned ugly. Counter-protesters. Signs slashing abomination. Noah and Mason attended support queer allies. Fists raised peaceful. But zealots charged. Pepper spray stinging. Fists flying. Noah shielded a kid. Mason pulling him back. Trampled in melee. Rib cracked. R again. Stitches, statements, media swarm. Local heroes in hate clash. Dad arrived. Face thunder. Enough. You're moving. Now. But Mom, they're heroes. Healing ward. Mason's hand in Noah's. 4 drip sinking breaths. Worth it. For us? Always. December healed bones, not bruises. Columbia acceptance. Dual NYC calling. Dad's goodbye gift. U-Haul keys. Be safe. Love you. Mason's dad, a hug. Gruff. Proud. New Year's quarry. Champagne pops. Resolutions etched. To us. Clinks. But betrayal's final twist. Kyle's confession online. I was scared too. Sorry. Human. Flawed. Spring equinox. Packing the safe. Lighter now. Books donated. Note enshrined. Park farewell picnic. Canvas gifted to Mom. Legacy. Bus station redux. Not goodbye, but see you soon. Kiss fierce, no tears. NYC swallowed them. Lofts, subways, galleries. First pride, hands high, unhidden. Years folded. Mason's exhibit. Noah's TED Talk on hidden loves. Wedding under oaks, Elmwood imported. Rainbow Isle. The safe. Displayed. Empty, secrets free. Humanistic close. Not perfect, but whole. Love's not absence of storm. but dancing in rain. The gallery opening hummed with the low thrum of New York ambition. Champagne flutes clinking like ice in old jazz, walls lined with Mason's evolution. Canvases of fractured light, lovers emerging from shadows, colors bleeding hope. 3 years since the move, and here they were, loft in Brooklyn smelling of turpentine and takeout. Rings glinting under Edison bulbs from a courthouse vow last fall. Noah hovered by the bar, nursing a seltzer, watching Mason work the crowd. That easy charm undimmed, auburn hair tousled just so, green eyes catching admirers like fireflies. Pride swelled, laced with the old ache. How far we've come. A hand on his elbow. Mom, elegant in a pantsuit, Dad beside her in khakis that screamed Midwest transplant. He's glowing, she whispered, squeezing. They'd flown in for the show, Queer Constellations, Mason's thesis on visibility, and the trip marked Dad's first gallery since that therapy thing, as he called it obliquely. Progress, incremental as Ohio seasons. Proud of him, Dad rumbled, sipping ginger ale. Of you both. The words landed awkward but earnest, a far cry from garage ultimatums. Across the room, Mason caught Noah's eye, miming a heart with laced fingers. The gesture echoed their first park picnic, the canvas now centerpiece. Mended earth, vines eternal. Noah's nonprofit had boomed. Hidden no more, scholarships for rural queer kids, safe spaces stocked with those dog-eared tomes he'd once hoarded. The safe itself, retired to their mantel, door propped open, a sculpture of surrender. But tonight's undercurrent stirred deeper. A call from Elmwood that morning. Tyler, voice gravelly from years and yard work. Heard about the show. Kyle's. Not good. Cancer. Asks for you. The news had blindsided. Kyle's slurs resurfacing like bile. Betrayer turned victim. Life's cruel symmetry. Mason had squeezed Noah's shoulder. Your call. But remember, humanity's messy. Now, as the crowd thinned, Noah slipped out to the fire escape. City pulse below, a symphony of horns and dreams. Mom followed, shawl draped. You okay? Yeah, just ghosts. He handed her the phone log, Tyler's number stark. She read, then hugged. You've got the biggest heart. Go if it heals. Dad joined, gruff. Or don't. Your life now. The debate waged internal through the afterparty. Diner grease and laughter, Mason's arm at anchor. Bed later. Tangled in sheets threadbare from love, Noah confessed. Kyle, dying, wants forgiveness. Mason traced his jaw, thumb gentle. What's your gut? Complicated. Sleep evaded, dreams churning. High school halls, fists in dirt, Kyle's sneer morphing to plea. Dawn coffee brewed strong, decisions crystallizing. I'm going, Noah said. Alone. Closure for me. Mason nodded, kiss forehead soft. I'll hold the fort. The flight to Columbus was turbulence-free, rental car eating miles to Elmwood's unchanged maples. Hospital same sterile hush, but Kyle's room softer, curtains drawn, monitors beeping lullaby. Tyler waited outside, older, lines etched. Thanks for coming. He's rough. Inside, Kyle lay frail, chemo-bald, eyes sunken but sparking recognition. Thompson. Shit, you look good. Noah pulled a chair, neutral. You too. Heard about the show. A wheeze laugh. Watched the stream. Your guy's talent? Killer. Pause, labored. I was an asshole. Scared kid parroting Dad's hate. Hurts now knowing. The confession hung, no defenses. Noah's throat tightened. Anger, pity, release. It hurt then. Built me, though. Made me fight. Kyle nodded, tears tracking. Wish I'd fought with. Forgive. The word echoed Mom's note, Mason's canvas. Yeah. Forgiven. Handshake frail but real, humanity's bridge rickety but crossed. Tyler walked him out, thanks mumbled. Heard you're changing lives. Respect. Drive back. Radio crooning Springsteen, Thunder Road, escape anthem. Noah called Mason. Done. Free. Love you. Home safe. Elmwood faded rearview, but not erased. Roots nourishing, not strangling. Back in Brooklyn, Mom and Dad's visit extended. Family dinner at the loft, takeout Thai steaming. Dad raised a glass. To stars. And suns who reach him. Mom's eyes misty. To seeing. Really seeing. Mason's toast. To us. Messy. Mended. Later. Alone on the fire escape. Noah and Mason watched bridges glow. Think Kyle's peace sticks? Mason asked. Hope so. Noah leaned in. Like ours. Years unspooled generous. Nonprofit expanded. Safe houses nationwide. Books shipped like lifelines. Mason's career arced. MoMA solo. TEDx on art as activism. Their wedding, small but fierce. Park vows, Mom officiating, Dad tearing up. Honeymoon in Provincetown, hands in sand. Waves whispering enough. Challenges came. Funding droughts, Mason's burnout, a scare with Dad's health. But they weathered, therapy a toolkit, love the glue. 10th anniversary. Return to the quarry, now a nature preserve. Picnic redux, sandwiches soggy, but hearts full. Mason unrolled a new canvas. Them, older, wrinkles like laugh lines, under that same dawn. Forever? He asked. Beyond. Kiss timeless. The safe? Donated to a museum, artifact of becoming, plaque reading, invulnerability, strength. Mom's note, copied in exhibits. I see you. Humanistic coda. Life's not linear triumph, but spiral ascent. Falls teaching flight. Betrayals forging bonds. Noah and Mason. Constellations intertwined. Lights against any dark. In Elmwood's church now, rainbow banners flap beside steeples. Pastor Ray retired. Successor preaching inclusion. Tyler coaches Little League. Kids chanting teamwork. Kyle's gone 2 years. Memorial bench by the bleachers. Choose kindness. Noah visits yearly. Leaves a book. For the next kid hiding. And in Brooklyn, under city stars, love endures. Not flawless, but fiercely humanly true.